Channel. Welcome. My name's Josh, Blue Sky 3. I'm just getting back from up north Michigan. I actually got back Sunday, but I'm still feeling the effects from all that walking I did. My hamstring's a little tight. Walking through that sand is no joke. Walking through those sand dunes up there in Sleeping Bear Dunes is no joke. So I wanted to touch base with you guys and see where you're at. Let you know where I went, what I did, how it was, kind of rank things, put things into perspective. I was able to kind of think about my trip for the last couple of days and really just kind of, you know, think about when I want to go back, how long I want to stay, where I want to go exactly, and kind of go from there. My trip started in Traverse City. I haven't been there in so many years, but when I was a teenager, my dad took me up there. We did a couple things. One, we did a charter boat fishing in Grand Traverse Bay. We went out, we caught our limit of lake trout, and I think the limit was 10. And so we ended up catching 10 each. We watched them fillet it for us. We took it home. I had fish for like months, for like 6 months, um, and it was good. It was fun. And the best part about it is, you know, they do all the work for you. You know, they drive you out there, they fillet the fish. You just reel it in. So I started there, and that brought back some good memories. It was pretty overcast. It was pretty cloudy. But it wasn't raining. So I was thankful that I was able to go up there when we had pretty decent weather. Now it was cloudy all day, and like I said, I didn't have much of a plan when I got to Traverse City. I actually pulled into. I was just gonna make my first stop at Botanical Gardens there, and I pulled in, and it looked like a pretty nice place. Not a real big place, but they had a gift shop there, and then they had like a little wooded area with gardens back there, and but there was a wedding going on. So I felt like I was kind of in the middle of this. Now, when I pulled in and parked, I didn't really see anything going on. It just looked like it was a regular day. But as I approached the gift shop, there was like golf carts coming up. There was like people dressed up. It looked like they were having a wedding, and they were talking about setting some stuff up. So anyhow, I went into the gift shop. There was a bathroom right in there. I went in, used it, and of course I had been on the road for 4 hours at that point, so I was ready. But I came out of the bathroom, and I had like 10 people staring at me from this wedding party, and I was like, you know, hello. And so anyhow, I went outside. They had a little, like a gazebo area, and they were all setting up for this wedding. And at that point, I just felt like, you know what, this isn't relaxing. I I so anyhow, I got in my car, I took off, and I went down to Grand Traverse Bay, M22, and that was my goal to begin with, was to take this route on M22 up through the Leelanau Peninsula and then back down to where I stayed in Empire, Michigan, which is where Sleeping Bear Dunes is. So if you haven't checked that video out, I posted it yesterday, so you can check that out, get a little substance. This is more along the lines of some substance, because I spent quite a long time, maybe an hour or two, editing that video, and I cut out a lot of the stuff that I put in there, fluff we call it, I guess, in YouTube language. It was kind of stuff that I didn't really feel like it was really necessary or benefiting to the video and the essence of what I was trying to capture, which was the overlooks, the dunes, and the bluff, and that kind of thing, the scenic stuff, you know. And I like making vlog style stuff, but I don't know that it's like, if people are interested in that yet. I think maybe down the line I'll be able to find an audience. You guys might be interested in a vlog style. It still is a vlog style. There were still some interesting moments that I had that I did not want to for you guys to miss, which was when I first got to, and I'll go back to the M22 in a minute, but when I first got to Empire Bluff, first of all, the trailhead was kind of hard to find, but once I found it, I started walking, and I had heard on, and I had read and watched a few videos before I got there, so I kind of was aware of how long it was. So I just kept walking. I got there at sunset. I got there right on time, and it was, like I said, it was cloudy all day, overcast. But once like 4 o'clock hit up there in Empire, when I got there, the clouds started to dissipate, and I got there, and it was there was a sunset, and I was thankful for that because I was only staying there one night, so it worked out perfectly. I got to capture what I was looking for, which was the bluffs, the overlook. I wasn't expecting to look across Lake Michigan in that little area there and see the big dune at Sleeping Bear Dune, which was awe-inspiring. I had not. I mean, I've seen pictures, but pictures and videos do not do this justice. It is as breathtaking of a place that I've ever been. And I mean, I've been to some pretty cool places. I mean, the Rocky Mountains is probably my favorite place that I've ever been. But I would rank this up there with that. I mean, it's probably a close second as far as views go. It's not, it's not as mountainous as the Rockies, but I mean, it's pretty hilly up there. And like I said, walking through that sand, walking up those dunes, it can get tiring. So I wasn't sure how much dune walking I was going to be doing when I got to Sleeping Bear Dunes the next morning. So I didn't really want to overdo it, but I did take like maybe a 30-foot walk up a dune at the Empire Bluff, and I got some nice pictures. I at that point I didn't get any video. I kind of wished I did, but either way, I still got some good video there from when I first walked in. When I got to the end of the path there was like this 5 foot wide path that was on one side. It was the top of the bluff, and on the bottom was the drop off to Lake Michigan. And I thought about walking through that trail, but I decided not to, and I'm glad that I didn't, because when I turned around, I didn't really realize where I had just walked from. So to turn around and look at this big, huge lake at Lake Michigan and the bluff and where everyone was sitting, it kind of threw me off. So I'm glad that I didn't walk over to that trail because I wasn't sure what was on the other side. And had I made it onto that other side, I'm not sure I would have felt comfortable coming back over it, given that it was like a 500-foot drop right there. So I'm glad I didn't do that. There were things that I'm glad that I didn't do. I'm not sure that I would have done that even in my earlier days, in my 20s, because I've always had somewhat of a fear of heights. Not so much like roller coaster rides and places where I feel secure, but there's other places where I feel not secure, especially walking around and muddling around in that sand. I did not feel real, like on firm ground. So I'm glad that I didn't do that little thing, but I was thankful that I got a sunset. I was thankful that I got some video so that I could post it here on the channel, and that was pretty cool at Empire Bluff. On the way out, it was starting to get dark. A lot of people were leaving at that time, and I did capture this in the video. Not while I was on the trail, but it was getting dark, and I turned my flashlight on so I could see. And about that time, I could hear what I thought was a bear making like a huff sound in the woods, and I didn't know what to do. And I don't know if it actually was a bear. I mean, it sounded like a bear. And given that we're in Sleeping Bear Dunes, I had just Googled it just to see and see if people have actually spotted bears in Sleeping Bear Dunes. And of course, lots of encounters with bears, lots of sightings of black bear. And I know that black bear aren't the scariest of bears, and it's pretty rare that they're going to attack I think unless they feel threatened, they're really not going to attack. But at the same time, I don't want to find out. So I started walking real fast, and I realized that I'd been walking really slow because it took me like a good 30 seconds to a minute to catch up to the group that was in front of me. And I had almost felt like saying, like, I think there's a bear in there, but I wasn't sure like if these people were experienced or not. But I was by myself, and I was like, I was booking it out of there. And I got in my car, and I did capture a little bit of a video of that. So if you guys check that out, I think you might get a kick out of it. So from there, I just went back to the room and watched football and just kind of rested and looked through my photos and stuff. But leading up to that, I was looking forward to this because I read that M22, so from like Traverse City all the way up the Leelanau Peninsula and back down on the Lake Michigan side, uh, all the way through Empire and another like 45 minutes south of there, there's M22, and it's a scenic drive and lots of wineries. I'm not a drinker, so I don't know like the the few articles that I read. It said for fall color tours and like views and scenic views, M22 is one of the best in the country. And so I'm like, man, I want to check that out. So how you doing, Robux? Welcome into the channel. And oh, thanks, Kia. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're here. And so I took that M22, and as I was going north out of Traverse City, I felt like I was rushed. So when I was in Traverse City, I almost felt like I was in Southeast Michigan, no different than being in this busy area that I live. And I couldn't wait to get out of there. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Kia. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here. And so yeah, I felt rushed. I thought about pulling off, and I actually did pull off at a couple spots. But once I got up to Sutton's Bay, it started to kind of like the traffic was less. Sutton's Bay looked like a nice area. I didn't stop there. I just kept on driving. I wanted to get to my destination in Empire at a reasonable time so I could catch the sunset if possible. So I knew that it would take a while. I wasn't exactly like watching the clock because I wanted to just enjoy the drive. But once I got up to Northport, which is like the most northern tip I think you can go in Leelanau, I started to get hungry, and it hit me all at one time. So and up there, the internet service wasn't very good. Hey Thomas, welcome in. The internet service up there was not very good. I still had some, but it was kind of spotty. And a lot of the restaurants up there didn't have like websites. I almost felt like I was in a rustic place, like in Florida or somewhere that I've been before, where it was kind of like an hour away from civilization, which is a good thing. That's kind of what I was looking for. But at the same time, the snacks that I brought were not doing the job. So um, rather than call and have to wait in or walk into a restaurant and order and wait, there was a grocery store there, Tom's, and there's a bunch of these Tom's grocery stores up there. Uh, and so I went in there, I got a sandwich, some chips, and a drink, went to this park right there by the water, and up there it's Grand Traverse Bay. Had my food, felt a lot better, and got on the road and started heading towards Empire. Now that ride from Northport down to Empire was about an hour, and that drive was what I was kind of looking for. The fall color changes weren't dynamic like I was expecting them to be. I was hoping them to be. I guess my expectations weren't that high because I had been reading people's like Facebook posts and stuff that have been up north recently, and they said, because of the drought we've had here in Michigan this year, for like the past 2 months, the colors aren't changing as much, and a lot of the trees are just turning brown and dying, or still just green. And that's kind of what I did find. Thanks for liking, Kia. Where are you guys from? Put down in the comments where you guys are from, and maybe recommend some places that you like to visit in your neck of the woods. Um, so that ride down to Empire was nice. I got to check in, and like I said, I got there. I read that they had like a Founders Day that day in Empire, which made me feel like I wish I would have just headed straight to Empire right off the bat and not done the M22, or maybe take M22 south from Empire the next day on my way home. But since I got to see what I wanted to in Empire, I felt like I didn't really need to take the rest of that M22 down. Um, Welcome, Oreo, and never fear, the furry is here. um, so Thomas, I'm in southern. I live in southern, but I was on a trip in northern Michigan, so that's kind of what this video is about. I do have some videos from some places that I do in my neck of the woods, but my plan is to go further, like north, further south even, and maybe in Indiana and Ohio coming up. There's a place in Indiana, Columbus, Indiana, that I want to visit from a movie that I saw a few years ago. It's one of my favorite movies, called Columbus. But that might be my next trip. But yeah, my goal is to do places that I can drive within 5-6 hours. Like I said, this trip to Traverse City was about 4 hours, and then it was another hour north and another hour back down to M22 south. So I drove for 6 hours. It caught up to me. I was pretty tired. I didn't sleep much the night before because I was up watching the Tigers game till 1 o'clock. It was 1:10 when it ended, and I got up at 7. So I got less than 6 hours of sleep, and it hit me that night on my way up to Empire. But I was pretty excited, and even when I got back to the room, it was hard for me to get to sleep because I was pretty amped up, looking forward to getting up in the morning and going to Sleeping Bear Dunes. So I'll talk about Sleeping Bear Dune now. So I only had a few hours from the time I got up and got everything going, had my coffee, to get over to the park, and then back in time to check out from my room at 11. Um, so let's see. Thomas says way up north in Indiana, maybe 10-15 minute drive to Michigan. Okay, yeah. Um, I'm familiar with Indiana. Got a lot of family there. Uh, I was actually born in Indiana, Fort Wayne, and but I haven't been down in a while. I did want to get back down to Muncie, where my grandparents lived and a lot of my relatives lived, and go to Bob Ross Art Gallery and Museum. I don't know if you've ever been to that, but that would be one place I'd like to go back, or go to. I never went there back then, and but yeah, since he passed away, there I think it's grown exponentially there, that museum. So that'd be one place I'd like to go. Oh, so you've been to Sleeping Bear Dunes, Tom? Where did you stay when you went up there? So I made it to the dune or the scenic overlook at about 9. There was no attendant because of the federal shutdown. So I didn't really. I guess I knew that Sleeping Bear Dune was a national lake shore, so part of the national parks. But I didn't really think about it till I got there, and then there was no attendant, and then there was a sign that said there's no attendant. The visitor center is closed, and I assumed the amenities like the bathrooms would all be closed, but they weren't. The bathrooms were open. But when I got there, so it was eerie. It was weird. There was really nobody there. It was foggy. I had to kind of Google it to see, make sure that I didn't need to like pay online because um, because there was no attendant there. And then I read that during government shutdowns, the national parks waive the fee. So as a result, they're losing millions of dollars because of that, and so people aren't paying. And I did actually read an article yesterday or the day before after I got back about I think it was Yosemite. That's where the Half Dome is, right? Yosemite, El Capitan. I think that's Yosemite. But at any rate, people are going there and they're doing things like base jumping and climbing. There was a picture of all these people climbing up that uh, El Capitan, where they have like I think they have um, like posts that you can grab onto and climb up it. Uh, and you don't have to be necessarily a rock climber to do it. You probably have to have a little bit of experience. But Tom says I have not, but I heard so much about it. Love the view, the pictures. My mom has been there, and we might go back soon. Um, well, I guess it just depends on how you look at it. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it. The scenic drive. There's like 11 spots, but it didn't take me that long to go through that. And Empire Bluff wasn't part of that either, so there was really no charge for that. And it was like at the end of the street where I stayed, so it was like right there. Now I didn't see the whole park. Like I said, I really didn't have a ton of time, but I got to see what I kind of was there to see, which was the Big Dune. So I got to that, and I had watched. I've watched a lot of people, a lot of videos of people going down it. To go down it, so it's about 450 feet down, um, and to get down, obviously it's easy. To get back up, it takes people between like 30 minutes and like an hour and a half to get back up. So I didn't have time to do that. And even if I did, I'm not sure that I would have. I was there just to kind of walk through some of the dunes, get some video, get some pictures. And I didn't really even get that close to the edge. Um, but like I said, I didn't have a ton of time. Next time I go there, I think I'll probably spend more time. I might even go partially down the dune. Who knows? Maybe I'll go all the way down it. And I don't know. You may be able to walk that shoreline down to a different spot and not have to walk back up it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, if you have to get rescued, it's $3,000. There's a big sign for that right there. And I did have a cousin that went there this summer, and he took a video of himself going down it, and it was crazy to see uh, just how deep you muddle through the sand. It was going up to like his knees, and even to climb. So climbing back up, I can't imagine. A lot of people are like on all fours, climbing for an hour or two to get back up, and it's like, man, I'm sore just from the couple miles that I walked through the sand on those that night and that morning. So I'm glad that I didn't do that. But that's fine, you know. I plan on going back again, and I enjoyed it so much, to be honest with you, that I would probably find a place to stay next summer or even fall. I really liked it this time because it's cooler weather. It's for me, it's like perfect hiking weather, walking weather. It was like 62, sunny, and like I said, it was foggy when I got there. It was kind of chilly, but not bad. Um, and the fog broke as soon as I got to the dunes. So the only thing I didn't really get to see was the dunes overlook, which I missed. But like I said, there's like a 3 mile trail in the park there that is in the dunes, and I assume that you can see Lake Michigan from there, and there's views from there. So I would want to do that, and maybe the Big Dune partially, but certainly to walk that coastline, I don't think it's that far of a walk, maybe a mile or two from there down to the Empire Beach, because it took me only maybe like 5 to 6 minutes to drive down from Empire to the entrance of the park. So I don't think, and I started at the Empire Beach and I looked up at it from there. So you might be able to just walk that. I think I'd have to investigate that, but that might be worth checking out. Just parking and walking from the beach down to the base of the big dune. That might be something that is possible. Um, so so yeah, overall that trip, when I got back, I thought, man, I'd love to live up there. And then I did a little bit of research on it. The median age is 64. So a lot of people retire up there, but they say that the winters are harsh, and you're right next to Lake Michigan there. So I don't doubt it. I mean, our winters down here haven't really been that bad. Tom, you're in northern Indiana. I think you probably get similar weather from us, as us, and I might have to go out and do the driveway maybe like 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had a real big heavy snow in a while, a couple winters. So, but I imagine up there it would be tough, and it'd be desolate in the wintertime. So maybe not live there, but maybe. And a friend actually reached out and said that my pictures were bringing back memories for her. Yeah, it hasn't been that bad. The winters haven't been that bad around here, so I'm thankful for that. Um, but I did like that it was quiet up there, not a lot of traffic. I don't know what it's like where you are, Tom, but man, it's just busy around here all the time, and just to get away in a place where, and there's not a lot of places anymore. Like I said, it was pretty much busy all the way till I got to Traverse City, and even in Traverse City, it wasn't like being any different than being around here. But the northern tip of Leelanau, like I said, all the way down to Empire was quiet, and driving through Glen Arbor right before Empire, so just north of Empire, seemed like a pretty nice place too. And then a friend of mine told me that her parents used to rent a place up there in Lake Leelanau, and I don't know if it was all summer or just like a week or two or what, but that gave me a good idea. Like maybe just stay there next time for a weekend and see if I could find a good spot. If it's a good spot, then maybe do like 1 week stays there in the summertime, just to get up there and get away from it all. So that might be something worth looking into. But yeah, I think the median house price up there is more than it is down here. I think it's more than the national average or the state average from what I was reading. So it's a little bit more expensive. It did look like there was some new builds up there, and it looked like you could probably get a house for like 300 to 400,000, which in this market is about average, I would say. Um, so yeah, I think I'd probably need to go up there, but I think my dream would be to have like a place up there so that I'm still close to family. But I've always wanted to live out uh, in Colorado, Wyoming, somewhere in the Rocky Mountains out there, and being that my wife and I, we have family here, so I don't necessarily want to live there, but it would be cool to have a place that you like to go, that I like to go, that maybe I could spend a little bit of time there, um, in the winter or in the summer, depending. Um, but yeah, that would be a goal eventually. But for right now, it's cool to just make the videos, go places, um, post this stuff, have you guys come along with me on this, but also please share some stuff of places that you're from. If you have any recommendations in Indiana, Tom, let me know, either on this live stream or on any of my videos, if you decide to watch. But yeah, please like and subscribe. I have big plans for this channel. I'm glad that you guys are here, and stay tuned for. I try to get on here at least once a week for a live stream, and I'm gonna start to try to at least have one video a week while I can, and and then go from there. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming with me on this, and have a great day. And we'll see you on the next one.